You know what time it is. It's the series finale for Mobwise, and it starts off with Renee. She has her dance class, and Renee does really well. And for some reason, I feel like the dance was going a little bit slower than it normally would, but the important thing is she didn't mess up. She took a huge risk because she put her faith and trust in someone else. And so shout out to Renee, because she's grown so much from truly not trusting anyone and not giving anyone really a fair shot who's new. And Carla and Karen were there to support her. Ange had some appointments, so of course she couldn't be there. AJ and I believe his girlfriend, possibly soon fiance, was there as well. So Drita meets up with Big Ange, and Drita just talks about how, you know what, I am done with Karen. I am done with her shenanigans. I am done with Marissa, because Marissa was the one who said that it was Karen who said this or did this or that was Drita. I'm not really sure. I mean, this whole thing was confusing. I felt bad because I'm thinking Big Ange is still sick and you're bringing her these problems, you're bringing her these issues. I understand she's the only one in the group that is with you and on your side at this point, but come on, Drita, get it together. So Karen goes and she has, of course, her daughter. She teaches her daughter how to drive, and that was a mess because, oh man, she backed up and she hit the fence, and I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, oh Jesus, literally Jesus, take the wheel, because she's gonna kill both of them in that car. She was hitting all the cones, and she was kind of joking around with it, but Karen was serious because driving is serious. So she's like, look, I need you to take this more seriously. I understand that we're friends, but you need to take this more seriously. But it's cute to see their relationship. They really are like buddy-buddy, but there is a respect there. So I think it will work. I really think that will work. So you have Drita, who's just gone from, hello Marissa, here's what we need to do. We need to talk because Ange was saying that you had your name in my mouth, had my name in your mouth, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand why you and Karen were saying this and that. I'm just so tired of you. And when I see you guys and when I talk to you guys, it's going to be understood, because we can't do this back and forth. We all need to come together. We need to come together and we need to talk this out. We need to talk this out and throw hands, because that's what's going to happen. If I don't like what I'm not hearing, I'm going to throw hands. Drita, calm down, Drita. Calm down, Drita. I'm like, damn. Really? Really? Drita, really? I don't understand how she doesn't pass out, because regular people, their blood pressure would just go through the roof and they would be knocked out. Someone get Drita, because I don't like this side of her. I like to see the mom and the wife and the entrepreneur. And I guess it doesn't matter because we won't be seeing this at all unless the show gets picked up or gets spun off. But, so, Drita and Brittany are on their way to the place, and everyone's just squaring up. It's just like Karen and Marissa are like, alright, let the truth be told. Well, it's really the veterans talking about what's going to happen. Karen wants the truth. As long as she talks the truth and we can talk this out, we don't have to be friends, but as long as we can talk this out, it's all good. You have Carla, Big Ange, and Renee talking about what they feel needs to happen. Carla feels like, you know what, they need to be adults and just talk this out. Renee's like, well, maybe if they just fight it out, they'll get out of their systems. And Carla's like, no, if they fight, they're going to kill each other. What are you thinking, Renee? And I'm like, yes, Carla, they are going to go and kill each other. Brittany and Marissa were quiet while Karen and Drita were going off in the car, because it's like, this really isn't their fight. They're getting dragged into this. Clearly, they really don't want to be there. I actually feel a little bad for Brittany, because Brittany doesn't seem like she wants to be a part of this foolishness anymore. It's like, gosh, I'm on the wrong side of things. I'm going up against a family friend, and Marissa's also like, I'm supposed to be going up against a family friend, but she's not being loyal, and she hasn't liked me from the jump, and so that's the situation we're having. So you have Marissa going, and well, actually, you have Drita going after Karen and Marissa from the jump. I mean, she's yelling at them from the jump. And they barely get a chance to sit down. They start talking for all of 2 seconds. And you have Drea jump across. And then you have Marissa jump across. And so a fight really starts to break out. Because then Karen tries to jump across. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so when security's trying to break them up, mind you, Drea was telling security and production the other day that I'm going to fight the bouncer if they put their hands on me. Clearly that didn't happen. Drea is mostly talk half most of the time because I feel like Drea, when she talks, she's venting out her feelings instead of putting forth her actions, which I can appreciate. But I just wish that she wouldn't go from 0 to 100 like that, because that's not healthy. That's not good for her. So production comes in, it's like, look, we're at the end. I really need saying stuff about Karen's weight and all that. I'm like, wait a minute though, but Karen looks good. But you have Brittany over here who was mum's the word for the most part, finally saying something, and she's throwing dishes and all that. And Marissa is so unfazed. I love it. And Karen is as well. And you just have the ladies being really immature at this point. And it was just like, Drea doesn't do anything. Drea's all talk, no action. And so when you have finally the chance for some action, you go and do nothing. And I'm like, you know what? Before I was trying to defend Drea, but Karen is right. Drea holds herself back a lot of the times. But if you're going to go and verbalize something from a lot of people where they grow up and what they know, that usually means action will follow suit. And usually that's not the case in Drea's situation. So that's why everyone's like, Drea, what are you really doing? Do you really feel that way or do you not? And so Drea's just like, you're stalking my husband. You're stalking my husband. It's like, no one cares about your husband. He's a rat. He's a this. He's a that. Marissa was calling Brittany's father a rat and all that. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, this whole this rodent talk. All this damn rodent talk. Are we really still going low like this again? So that's pretty much it. The ladies are done with each other, at least for now. So it's about them talking about what's next for them. Karen is just talking about her and her daughter, how it's just them against the world. She's focusing on her daughter's modeling career, and she definitely will be successful. She has a great look, and it's current definitely with what's in right now. And she's only 16. I'm like, wow, that's what 16, I guess, for women look like nowadays. So shout out to her for that. But Karen is just talking about how her father's going to be coming out soon. And of course, during these reels, it's just showing where the ladies started to where they came from now. And it's like, damn, Renee went through a lot with the whole drug addiction, her husband being abusive, going to jail, ran her father out, which put him in jail, to her having it together, her son doing great, her personal life doing well. And it's like, you know what, now she has to take up more responsibility because people used to flip the bill, pay for things for her. Now she has to handle it on her own. Carla's just talking about how her husband was in jail for most of the time that she was on the show, and how she had to be a single mom, the mom and the father, and how she doesn't want her kids to grow up in this lifestyle. She wants better for them. Drea talks about how there was just so much going on as far as their life and livelihood, and how Lee wasn't in the picture for a while, and how it was a struggle for a while, but so glad that he's back and he could be in his girls' lives, and how their family feels complete. And I kid you not, how production did it, they made it seem like they were going to finally do this grand unveiling as far as what Lee looks like. I'm sure we could find pictures of what Lee looks like, but still, at least on the show. And what they give us is, they give us up until his neck. Because, well, actually a little bit more than his neck, but from the back angle. Because we can see that he has a beard now. And I guess he might be a ginger, if I'm not mistaken, or at least has light brown hair. And I'm like, alright, so shout out to them for that. That was the ultimate tease, but I guess we'll have to take it. And it ended with really Big Ange. Big Ange was just talking about her family life, and this is when it gets pretty current, because this is when Big Ange, she has a short hairdo, and she knows that she had throat cancer, and then she has lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, and brain cancer. And I really like how they tied it together at the end, because Big Ange was essentially narrating it, and it just felt complete. It had Karen Carla and Renee, they were walking with each other, and it was to the original theme song, The Big Big Bang. And remember, in the first season, when all the ladies were wearing their furs, including Drita, and they were walking down this like cobblestone walkway, and of course, since Drita is the odd man out, Drita, they shot her scene separately and tied it in together to make it seem like they were looking at her, but of course she wasn't really there. It's interesting because they have one last sit down, and I guess Big Ange isn't there. I don't know if she was just sick at that point. I'm assuming she might have just been sick at that point, still sick, so that's why she wasn't there. But they scrap. I mean, they scrapped. We finally get to see them fight for real. Again, I didn't want to see that, but it happened, so I guess we'll just have to take it. I just feel so bad, because it was like, damn, Big Ange was so scared, because she was like, I just want to get healthy for my family, for my kids, and for my grandchildren. That is what I want. That's what I'm going to focus on. I can't have any more stress. Neil was back initially, but now he's gone. He did absolutely nothing for me. And shout out to VH1 for having this special for Big Ange. That was really decent of them. And it was just about celebrating life. And it did have a lot of VH1 slash MTV people who used to be there. Like JWoww, Snooki, Pauly D, Yandy. Of course, the cast of Mob Wives. Now, that was interesting how they had to shoot that, because the ladies really aren't featuring each other anymore. Well, when I say ladies, Drita versus almost everyone else on the cast, because Drita was only really cool with Big Ange. So there is that. They also had, like I said, a lot of hip-hop people. They had Duchess and Caesar from Black Ink Crew. They had CVJ. They had the ladies of The Real Talk, Something Special. It was just really decent how they shot it. So again, shout out to VH1 for doing so. And they had like a little bit of everyone, just there celebrating life.